main building in Taipei, which fell during the 9/21 earthquake of 1999, took 10 years to rebuild. It is now 14 levels above ground, 2 below ground, and home to about 90-some families.
20 years ago, when Taipei's Dongxing building fell, it left 105 people injured and 87 dead. Thinking back to that night, Chen Jianli recalls being at work, thus escaping death, but his mother and brother were not so lucky. His father, who worked as a security guard, suffered massive bone fractures.
I was at the store, not at my home. My wife was pregnant. After the quake, my neighbor told me my home fell, and I went to see. All I could do was cry.
The letter in hand addressed to his brother has never been opened. Currently, Chen is living in New Taipei City's Qizhi. The quake has traumatized him to where he always carries a flashlight around.
When I rent or maybe purchase a home in the future, I'll only consider the ground floor. It's faster to escape. The pain is still with me.
Chen's current job is clearing highway accidents. It is a highly dangerous job, but he says he could only take it one day at a time because you never know when it's your last day. Another who is still living in the shadows of the earthquake is Xie Baozhu.
When the rescue workers came to get us, we had to run down 13 flights of stairs, and whenever we did reach the next level, he would announce it. It felt like the longest descent ever.
Xie lived in a building next to Dongxing, and though Xie and her family were able to escape to safety, their hearts were nonetheless panicked and anxious. During their moments of distress, a sense of stability and comfort came her way.
I felt miserable inside, and Tzu Chi volunteers gave me a bottle of water to drink and an emergency cash of $150. I then donated back $320.
Coming into contact with Tzu Chi through the natural disaster, a few years later, Xie became a Tzu Chi volunteer to help pass on the love. At 1:47 a.m. on September 21, 1999, many Taiwanese residents were awakened by a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. Buildings collapsed, causing injury to more than 8,000 people, while over 2,000 people died. The cause was the energy release from the longest fault line in Taiwan, the Chelongpu Fault. Earthquakes on the fault line are like an assassin waiting to attack. The Academia Sinica Institute of Earth Science statistics shows there were 318 incidents of magnitude 7 or above strong quakes from 1999 to 2019. Then beginning in 2010, magnitude 7 and above quakes numbered nearly 20 each year.
The magnitude of the quake is seemingly increasing each year. In the past, a magnitude 8 earthquake happens perhaps once a year. But now, there could be 2 a year, which means the Earth's pressure is increasing, as the force needed to release such a magnitude quake is very strong.
The Central Weather Bureau states since 1989, seismic activities, which are large enough to be felt by residents, have alarmingly increased, from near 60 annually to over 400 a year. Moreover, that number continues to rise. As 2009 to now, it has been recorded as averaging 680 shakes a year.
The fault line is a fractured surface, and this surface used to be static as the temperatures were low and underground water was cool. But now, since Earth's temperature is rising, the underground water becomes more active, causing the static fractured surface to be more active as well.
Does global warming cause an increase in quake frequency? More scientific research is needed to prove this theory. Is the Earth's seismic movements entering an active period? The opinion of the scientific community are varied.
我们所有的自然灾害都可以事先透过观测。
All of our natural disasters can be predicted ahead of time. High temperatures, typhoons, waves. Only earthquakes are still unpredictable. We can't tell you where it would happen, what depth, how strong, or when the next one will be. So when it happens, we are unprepared.
规模会发生下一个地震，所以地震。
Even with our current technology, we are still unable to predict future earthquakes. But by analyzing the data left by the previous quake, we can realize the potential danger that lies underneath us. As citizens of the Earth, we should not forget the painful lessons Mother Nature is teaching us.